What's up everybody, it's Broken Bones here and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today we are going to be showing you how to build the superior flower farm. This farm can bone meal any flower that can be bone mealed, which are all the flowers here in this chest, and it will not work on the pitcher plant, pink petals, wither roses, or the torch flower. Unfortunately, these three types cannot be bone mealed at all, and pink petals can only be bone mealed by hand. And as you can see, I'm trying to bone meal this one right now, and this one, and this one. The only thing that bone mealed was the grass that I landed on. So these three won't work. You can do this with pink petals though, but it does not work when you do it from a dispenser as shown right here. Here's the dispenser, it's got bone meal inside of it, and as you can see, none of it's being used. Part of what makes this superior is the fact that it can be hooked up to the superior moss farm, which will supply this farm with an endless supply of bone meal. And you never have to worry about the grass in this farm dying because of water. This farm does not use water. As you can see, we've got a bunch of sticky pistons up here, and if we power that circuit, you can see that it pushes all the flowers off, which then flow right down to the player via these water streams. You can pick them up right here, and then you can open up this shulker box and go ahead and place them all in there. And when it's full and you're done, you can go ahead and press this button. It'll break the shulker box, put it into this chest right here, and dispense a new one. And this farm does all the 2 high flowers at the ease of flicking a lever. This farm produces 16 different flower types, and therefore I've left 16 different barrels for storage. And with that being said, let's hop into the tutorial. Material lists will be down in the description. First things first, you're going to want to chunk align your farm, add and sub-chunk align your farm. As you can see, I'm at Y64, and I'll leave the Y values to the sub-chunks on the left side of the screen. Now you needed to decide which side you're going to use as the front of the farm. This is going to be my front over here, so I'm going to be using this side. And once you've chosen that, go ahead and come to the back left-hand corner right here. You're going to come 3 blocks in to that block right there. You're going to place in 3 blocks total like this, 1 on the top and 1 on the side, and you can break these 3 out. Go ahead and place 1 on top right here. Go ahead and break that one out. You're going to place in a torch right there and a torch right there with a sticky piston on top of that one facing in this direction. You're going to come off of this one by 3 blocks in total, so now you have 4 blocks right there. And on top of those, you're going to go ahead and place in a repeater with 3 Redstone Dust. Off to this side, we're going to come out by 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And then you're going to put Redstone Dust on top of all of those. Next, we need to go ahead and place a block on top of this bit of redstone here, and go ahead and put a button on top of that one. So now you should see if you press that button, that piston fires, and if it does, go ahead and come on over here with a redstone block. You're going to place one right in that area right there. And on top of that, you're going to go ahead and place in 2 slime blocks just like so. Go ahead and come on to this side of that redstone block, place yourself in a sticky piston in that orientation. Place 2 slime blocks on the front of that one, and then on this one, go ahead and place in a temporary block. You can go and break this one out here temporarily, and we're going to place in another sticky piston right there. Go ahead and place a slime block on top of those. Those should be catty corner just like this with that extended. Then we're going to go ahead and come on top of this one with 4 more slime blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to put a redstone block on the back side of that one right there. Go ahead and come on down here next to this piston. We're going to go ahead and skip a block right here. Go ahead and come on down and over just like this, skipping a block, and place some redstone dust on top of that. Anytime that piston gets retracted, that redstone will interact with that piston, which will hook up later. Next, go ahead and come down to the bottom of the slime blocks right here, and you're going to come right here next to this piston and place in yourself an observer in the downwards position just like that. The face should be looking up just like this. Go ahead and place in yourself a sticky piston in this orientation. Whenever that gets pushed up, that sticky piston will interact with that slime. Now come up to this redstone block, place in yourself 3 blocks like this, and then 1 up off to the side like that. Go ahead and break out the middle block right there and come down below with a sticky piston facing downwards just like this, and you can break this block out. On top of here, go ahead and place in 2 repeaters just like that. On the bottom down here, go ahead and grab your observer. You're going to place that in that orientation with the red dot facing right into this slime block right here that's connected to that sticky piston. Let's go and do a quick test on your work. Go ahead and press this button. You should see that that piston retracts that redstone block and everything gets retracted. You'll notice that this sticky piston has extended and that observer is now down there. And once that's done, you go ahead and power this block. You should see that that powers these 2 repeaters up here until you unpower it. Then when you unpower it, it should return to its normal state, which you can go ahead and press this button again, and it should repeat the entire process. You want to make sure that that comes back down. When you power this, those 2 repeaters are now powered up, and when you unpower it, it goes back to its normal state again. Now come to this observer, making sure that there's no gap between that block and this observer, meaning that that piston there is retracted. Then go ahead and come down below, placing a temporary block right there with an observer on its face, just like this. And you can break that block out. So anytime that piston gets extended, these observers are going to look at each other and freak out. So go ahead and come over here. We're going to place in a block right there. Place in a temporary block with one down below, just like this, and another temporary block right there. Place in a repeater right there on one tick, and then grab yourself a dispenser and place that sideways, just like this, and you can break out your temporary block. Go ahead and come up here. We're going to place in a couple temporary blocks right there and right there. Grab yourself a dropper and place that in the downwards position looking into that dispenser just like this, and you can break those two out. Now, if you power that piston, you should see this happening, and then go ahead and unpower your piston. Come to this side of your top dropper, go ahead and crouch place a piece of glass onto the front of it just like this, and you're going to come out by 4 in total, so you have 4 glass blocks on this side just like that. Grab 2 temporary blocks and place those in right there. Next, grab your hoppers, go ahead and place 1 into the top and 5 out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should have 6 hoppers in total, including the one looking down into it just like this, and go ahead and break out your temporary blocks. Grab yourself 3 more pieces of glass and place those in right there, and that observer should be looking right at that piece of glass. And then we're going to come on down here below this slime block right here. We're going to grab 2 temporary blocks just like this. We're going to place 1 out to the side like that and 1 out to this side. Next, we're going to go ahead and go 3 blocks on this side. Go ahead and break these 2 out, and then you can come over onto this side and placing yourself a melon block or a glazed terracotta, something that does not interact with this slime here. Now we need to go ahead and come down here like this. Let's go ahead and place these 2 blocks in like that. We're going to place in 2 repeaters on one tick right there and right there. Grab the redstone dust. That's going to go all the way across just like this. There we go. Okay, next we need to go ahead and grab our pistons. We're going to go ahead and place our pistons up just like this. Go ahead and bring that across. You're going to have 3 pistons there. And over here on this side, we're going to do the same. Go ahead and come up just like this, and you should have 3 pistons on this side. Come to this glass block right here in front of your dispenser right there. Go ahead and come down below and place in yourself a solid block with a button on the face of it just like this, with a piston facing downwards out here just like this underneath your last hopper right there. Go ahead and come off of that piston right there by 2 observers just like this, and place 1 facing down just like this. Go ahead and grab some temporary blocks. You're going to place 1 down just like this with some redstone dust on top just like that. Grab yourself your droppers and go ahead and place 1 there, and crouch place 1 there, and then a dispenser right there in that orientation just like that. Come down to your button, place in a temporary block right there, and grab your barrel and go ahead and place that looking at the button just like this, and break the temporary block out. Grab your hoppers and come to the back side of that barrel and go ahead and crouch place a hopper into the back side of that barrel just like this. Come to this side, and in the back of this dropper right here, go ahead and crouch place a hopper into that one, and then go ahead and crouch place another hopper into the side of that one. Go ahead and come up here, grab yourself a barrel, and place yourself in a barrel in that orientation right there. Go ahead and come out and around, and go ahead and place yourself a block on top of this hopper right here. That'll keep unwanted items out. If you grab yourself a shulker box, go ahead and place it inside of this chest here. You should see that it goes down into that dropper right there. And if you press this button, it'll go ahead and cycle through its stages, and it'll bring that shulker box right here for you to load. And if you go ahead and hit that button again, you should see that it goes right down into here. Next, come to this observer. We're going to place in 2 pistons just like this. Come to the back side, place in a temporary block with another piston on its face just like that. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. We're going to come out by 2 pistons right here. Temporary block on the back with another piston right there. Go ahead and break that one out. Now we need to put in some redstone dust, so we're going to come down by 2 blocks, out this way by 1, come up here and come this way by 2, and you can break out your temporary block. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and come out here like that. You can come on down and down like that. Break out your temporary block. Put in redstone dust there and there, and back here. Do the same thing on this side. Put redstone dust in all these areas. Then if you grab a redstone block, you should see that all those pistons fire and gets pushed forward, and do the same thing on this side, and you should see the same thing. Next, we're going to come over to this block here with the redstone on it next to this piston. Go ahead and come up a block just like that, and a block out just like this. You can break that one out. Place in yourself a repeater just like this. Now we need to place in 6 blocks here just like this. Go ahead and place in 6 blocks just like that with a block up right here, and you can break that one out. Grab yourself 2 comparators. We're going to place 1 there and 1 there. This one needs to be pointing into that block, so make sure they're in this orientation. Place redstone dust in these locations, and then go ahead and place in yourself a block right there and a block out to the side just like this. Over here we're going to place in 1 more block. We're going to use that later. Go ahead and place in yourself a repeater there. That needs to be on 2 ticks. And go ahead and place in yourself a bit of redstone dust. Next, we need to come to this repeater right here. The block that it sits on is supposed to be an observer. So go ahead and place in a temporary block just like that. Place that in just like there. You should see this light up. Then go ahead and replace your repeater. Next, come to this side. Go ahead and place in a temporary block right there. And then an observer on its face just like this. So the 2 faces are looking at each other with 2 blocks of space in between. Then go ahead and come to this side. And we're going to place in a comparator there and a comparator there. You'll see that fire up again. Then go ahead and come on down here. We're going to go ahead and place in an observer right here and another one over here. So those 2 observers are coming off of those. Then grab your droppers. Go ahead and come on over this way. We need a dropper facing that direction and a dropper facing the opposite direction. So these 2 are looking at each other. In this one right here, the furthest one to my right, go ahead and grab that one and put 2 stacks of any item in there. As long as it's 2 stacks, that should be good. Then we're going to go ahead and grab some pistons. Go ahead and put a piston on that observer and another piston on this observer. Then we're going to go ahead and put a block on this one. That block should be on the one that's full. Next, go ahead and grab your grass blocks. Place a temporary block there with one out to the front just like this. So you need a grass block here so you can plant your flowers on top of it. Then one level, we're going to come up here to the pistons. Go ahead and place grass on their faces just like this. Go ahead and bring that and leave a gap between these pistons, and then go ahead and bring that all the way to the redstone block, and you can fill this all the way in, and we need to do that on both sides. Once you've got all that in, let's go ahead and test your farm. Now the first time you press this, it's gonna jam on itself, which is perfectly fine. You'll see this here, there it goes, and it should go back and forth a lot longer than that. Wait for that to go down. Now the farm's turned off. Go ahead and come on down here, and now the farm's primed. It'll never do that to you again. Go ahead and press that button, and you'll see that it'll stay on for about a minute or 2 now. And once the farm turns off, you'll notice that the redstone block comes up and it powers those repeaters. Then everything's going to fire once more, and all the grass blocks will come back to the left. And even if they don't, which is okay, the flower that sits right here in the middle can branch out 3 blocks in every direction. So we have 3 blocks out this way, and we have 3 blocks to the back, so it's always got 3 blocks no matter which position the dirt is in. Once you've tested your farm, go ahead and come over here to this block right here. We're going to go ahead and place more blocks all the way to the front, leaving that front hopper open. And off to the side, we're going to go ahead and place in some sticky pistons. Go ahead and place sticky pistons facing down all the way to the back of your dirt. Go ahead and place those in 3 wide. We need to make 3 rows of those right here and right there. There we go. That should cover all of your dirt, just like so. Go ahead and grab some glass blocks. We're going to place glass blocks on the faces of all of these. And go ahead and do that for the entirety of all those sticky pistons. And then we need to do that once more on the other side. Once you have your pistons and glass in place, go into this center strip of blocks right here and go ahead and place redstone dust on top of all of those, and then come to the middle row of pistons. We're going to place more redstone dust on top of all of those. Then do the same thing over here just like that. There we go. Then we need to go ahead and place in some solid blocks on the sides of these. So go ahead and place in solid blocks right there, and come to this side and do the same. Go ahead and place in solid blocks right there. Grab your repeaters here. We're going to come back to this original repeater, and then just up one, we're going to go ahead and place in a repeater there on 4 ticks, and another one here on 4 ticks, and we need to cover those blocks with redstone as well, and then do the same thing to the other side. Go ahead and put a repeater here on 4 ticks, another one here on 4 ticks right there, then go ahead and take some redstone dust and cover those blocks as well. Next, grab your glass. Go ahead and come into this redstone block right here. We're going to go ahead and place glass all the way around this thing. We're going to come all the way to the center right here, and then we're going to come up here. Go ahead and place in glass. You do not need glass here in the center. Go ahead and come to this side. We're going to come on down here just like this, and just 1 layer low. We're going to come all the way to this dispenser. We're not going to do that one, and we're going to come down here and do the exact same all the way to the dispenser, and we won't do that one. We're going to do the same on the back side, so go ahead and come over here, put glass on top of your pistons, come on down, and then we're going to place glass right there and right there. Obviously you can't put any there where the repeaters are. Come to the other side and do the exact same thing. We're going to take glass all the way to here, come on down below the piston, then we're going to come all the way to here to this piston. Go ahead and place in glass all under there. Come to this side and go ahead and put in some glass down here. We're going to come from the back all the way to the front right here where the redstone block is. You can leave this open right there, and then next what we need to do is we need to put a temporary block in there and kind of encase this all. We're going to go ahead and put glass all the way here on top of there, and then we're going to put a 2-high wall of glass like this all the way across that. So now that's all kind of encased. Come to the other side and do the same thing. Both sides of your farm should be looking like this now, and the gap that you left in the front you should see are lined up on both sides and are directly above this barrel. Go ahead and bring down a temporary block right here. You can break that one out. Go ahead and come with glass all the way across here just like that, and you can break out the one above the barrel right here. We're going to leave that open just like that. Then go ahead and bring glass on this side. Go ahead and come all the way across like that. We need to make sure that that's an entire pathway there, and we can go ahead and get rid of the center block there as well. Go ahead and come to this side. We need to go ahead and button that up. Take a piece of glass right there. Make sure no water gets out there or there. Come to one of your sides and go ahead and open up this piece of glass here by your pistons and go ahead and put in your water. You should see that that drains all the way to the front, comes down here and drains all the way to the middle. Now let's go ahead and do that to the other side. We're going to come to the back here where our pistons are, not where our redstone block is. We're going to go and break that glass and go ahead and put in some water right there, replace the glass, and the water should drain all the way to the middle. Next, come down to the end of your water. Go ahead and come on down here and place yourself on a button at the very end right there that'll cut your water off. So go ahead and place in a water bucket down there. That'll go ahead and take the items down that way. And go ahead and button this back up, and you need to do that on both sides. Once you've got all your water in, go ahead and come under here and go ahead and place glass everywhere underneath here that you can. Obviously there's going to be some places like here, there's some redstone there, you can't place glass there, so go ahead and encompass that in. But anywhere you can place glass, go ahead and place glass. Right in the center here where your barrel is and your dirt block for your flower, go ahead and leave these glass blocks out. Just skip those 2 blocks and come on the other side. It should be all underneath the dirt where all the glass should be. Once you've placed glass underneath all your dirt, and notice the only 2 bits that we left out were right here, right in front, right where our dirt block is, and we did not put any there where that other block is right there. That's open. Next, we need to go ahead and grab our glass. We're going to come onto this side. We're going to go ahead and place in glass like this. Go ahead and bring that all the way down here just like this, all the way to the back. On the front side, we're going to come out by 1 bit of glass like this. Right here in front of that repeater, go ahead and place in yourself a barrel. That's going to be where your stock is, so you can plant any type of flower you want. Then go ahead and come to the end of your blocks here. You'll notice that these blocks end right here. Go ahead and place a glass block underneath that one. Bring that to the front and bring that all the way to the edge right here. And actually, no, don't bring that to the edge right there. Stop right here at this block and then go ahead and fill these in like that. That should prevent any redstone from being broken. That'll encase everything. Come to this side of your farm. We're going to come right underneath your pistons right here where these blocks are. Go ahead and place some glass blocks in here just like this. We're going to break that 2 high by 3 wide just like so. Go ahead and come on down 1 block. We're going to come down and make that 3 wide as well. We're going to bring that all the way across the distance of our farm here. So go ahead and place these blocks in here just like that there. And on this side, we can go ahead and bring this wall up here too. Go ahead and encompass that with glass. Go ahead and bring that all the way here like this. We want to bring this out by 3 blocks, so go ahead and do that. And these last 4 blocks, go ahead and leave these out. We're going to go ahead and place solid blocks in their place. And you're going to want to continue to fill your floor in, so go ahead and bring your floor of glass. Go ahead and bring that all the way to the outside block right here where your glass is. Go ahead and fill this all the way in. And then you can take your wall in the front right here. You can bring this down by 1 block and bring that all the way out to the edge just like so. That should be good there. And then go ahead and bring this all the way to the front here to your last glass block here, which is right there where that block is. Go ahead and bring that all the way to the front here too. And then out here, go ahead and place in a temporary block there and a block there. We're going to go ahead and place in a 2x2 wall of glass right there. Then grab yourself a temporary block, place that in right there, and then grab your barrels and go ahead and place these in this entire wall. We're going to place it right there, and we're going to bring that all the way across. When you're done, you should have a wall of barrels that's 8 blocks wide and 2 blocks tall. Come to these 4 blocks that we placed in earlier and go ahead and put levers on their faces just like this, and then come underneath and place in some sticky pistons facing in this direction right here. Then go ahead and come underneath right here and go ahead and place in observers facing in this direction. The face of them should be facing up. Then we're going to take a temporary block and another observer facing downwards, so that way when that piston gets pushed out, these observers are going to be looking at each other. So go ahead and fill that in right here just like this. There we go. And then we're going to grab a light source block, a sea lantern, that will transfer energy. So make sure that this actually does transfer energy. And we want to make sure that that will power these dispensers here, just like that. Then we need to grab our grass blocks. We're going to place these in here. This is going to be for the 2 high flowers. And now we need to go ahead and place in our hoppers right here. We need to come right up here on top. We're going to place in hoppers facing down into these dispensers. And then on the last one over here on the left, we're going to place that facing down just like this. Then we're going to go ahead and crouch place some hoppers leading into the back of that one. Let's bring that all the way to here. Let's do that here, just like this, right there. There we go. Bring that all the way to the edge right here, and then in one just like this. Go ahead and crouch place one up just like that, and another one up just like so. Go ahead and come on this side, and we're going to crouch place hoppers all the way beside this hopper. Grab some solid blocks, go ahead and place these on top of your hoppers just like this. Go ahead and come up here and do the same all the way up here, and then you're going to leave these two hoppers open and go ahead and place in a chest. Now if you don't want to hook this up to the Superior Moss Farm for endless bone meal, you can put your bone meal in right here, but we're going to be doing a shulker box unloader that will give us endless bone meal. Come back down to your dispensers, go ahead and place in 2 solid blocks here on the wall just like that. Grab your light source blocks and place those up here just like this. Go ahead and grab 2 more blocks just like that and place those in there, so that's all encompassed right there. Then go ahead and come over here. We're going to place in 3 blocks right here, 2 right there, and 3 more on top. That's going to be your entrance. Come on inside, open up this barrel, and fill it full of shulker boxes. And now technically you have a working flower farm. All you'd have to do is put bone meal in here and it'll distribute it to both sides of your farm, so you could use both sides of your farm. But if you're going to be hooking it up to the Superior Moss Farm for endless bone meal, then go ahead and grab your hoppers. We're going to come on top of this chest, go ahead and crouch place one into the top of it just like this. We're going to go ahead and crouch place 2 more into the side of this one, so go ahead and go 1, 2 just like that. Alright, then we're going to come off the top of this one. We're going to place in a temporary block right here and one off to the side right there just like that. We need to come right here with another temporary block and a sticky piston in this direction just like that. Go ahead and break this block out, and actually you can go ahead and place in a block right there and one down here just like this and break those 2 temporary blocks out. Come up here with a comparator, place that in just like so, and a bit of redstone dust down here. Up here, go ahead and place in a sticky piston facing up just like this with a observer on its face just like so. Grab yourself a solid block, place that there with one up in front of it just like that there, so you should have this little shape here just like that. Grab yourself a repeater. You're going to put this on 4 ticks right there into that block. Grab yourself a sticky piston, go ahead and place that downwards off that block right there with an observer on its face just like this. Next, come to the side of this block, place in a temporary block right there, and come to this side and place in a dispenser facing this direction over that hopper. Come back to this side and go ahead and break that one out, and go ahead and crouch place a hopper into the back of that dispenser right there just like so. And coming off of the side of that dispenser, go ahead and place a block in right there with a temporary block there and another one there. Go ahead and place a block down here like this and break that temporary block out. Grab yourself another comparator. We're going to place that in right here in that direction. Grab yourself a sticky piston just like this, and then we're going to come around this side and go ahead and place yourself in an observer on that sticky piston in that orientation. Come back to this side and grab yourself a redstone torch, place it right there. That's going to be the block that the comparator that we just placed is facing into. Then go ahead and grab your packed ice and come on down below right here to this hopper right here. Go ahead and crouch place yourself a piece of packed ice right on that hopper just like so. Come this way by 2 more blocks, so we have 3 packed ice blocks just like this. Come this way by 2 more and back in by 1 just like this. Go ahead and bring this ice out, and you can run this all the way to your empty shulker boxes where your Superior Moss Farm is. Now we need to encase this in glass, and to do that we're going to go ahead and crouch place some glass in here just like this. Go ahead and break the middle one, that's a temporary one. Go ahead and bring your glass out here to the edge just like that. Bring this one in here just like so. You can bring this one out to the edge and go ahead and bring that all the way out to the end, all the way to your moss farm. Then go ahead and come back here and place in a temporary block there, and just bring this glass all the way around the ice just like this. Go ahead and do that and bring that all the way down just like so. Then you're going to need to come back here, go ahead and place in 2 glass blocks here just like that. We need to bring that up. Then down here, come back in here. We need to do the same thing right here, so go ahead and bring this up by 2 blocks as well just like that. Then over here we need to go ahead and place in some glass just 1 block high. We're going to go ahead and do that right here and right in here, so go ahead and do that. Bring that all the way across, and you can bring that all the way to the end of your waterway. Come to this side, go ahead and break this glass block out and place in some water in there, and go ahead and replace that glass. You should see that that water flows around that curve and ends up on this side. Next we need to come to this hopper right here, and behind it we're going to go ahead and place in some packed ice, so go ahead and bring that out all the way to your moss farm, wherever the dropper is that gives you the full shulker boxes of bone meal. Then go ahead and grab your glass and go ahead and place in some glass there, there, and there. You can break this one out. You're going to run this down the length of your ice path just like that on both sides. Then go ahead and do the same thing on top. Go ahead and bring in some glass right here, and go ahead and fill that in all the way on top. Make sure that when you're building this ice path, whenever you get to the last water source, that the water source does go on top of that hopper. Now come to this dispenser, go ahead and place a piece of glass in front of it just like this, and then we're going to go ahead and place a temporary block there and one just like that. That'll go ahead and encase that whole area where the shulker box will be. Then grab yourself a solid block, place it on top of that hopper to keep unwanted items out of it. Next, come to this redstone torch, and then go ahead and place a block on top of that block, and one out to the side, and one up just like this, and you can break that one out. That redstone torch should be powering that block. You're going to bring these blocks all the way over to here just like this. Right in front of this observer, I placed a glass block. We need to place in a solid block just like that. Go ahead and place a glass block next to that piston though. And then we're going to go ahead and run redstone dust on top of this all the way across here just like that. And this will run all the way down to your superior moss farm. Now your superior moss farm has a dropper in it like this with shulker boxes filled to the brim with bone meal. As you can see, I've got a dropper here, but it's only got 16 bone meal in the shulkers. And that's just so I can show you how this thing works rather quickly. So we're going to go and run this all the way to here, and as you can see, this redstone dust will power that dropper, spitting out a shulker box of bone meal. It'll go ahead and go into the system, it'll get dispensed, and as you can see, it's going to go ahead and call for another shulker box, and now it's going to go ahead and empty this one, and it'll break it, dispense another one, and it'll empty this one and call for another shulker box, and they'll send the empty shulker box back to the farm. And as you can see, that's just going to cycle through here. There's an empty one coming, there's another full one coming, and it'll just continuously do this for all the shulker boxes. Alright, the last box has been broken. Let's go ahead and pick them all up, and as you can see, we do have 9 empty shulker boxes, which is just as many as this dropper can hold. Now, as you can see, I've loaded this dropper up with full shulker boxes of bone meal, which is just like the superior moss farm will have. And we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Go ahead and hook it all the way up, get your superior moss farm hooked up to this thing, and go ahead and let it fill up with bone meal. As you can see now, my chest is starting to fill up with bone meal, which means that all the hoppers in this farm are full, so it's actually ready to test. Go ahead and come on back down inside the farm. Go ahead and come right here. Go ahead and place in your flowers right here. Go ahead and place these in any orientation you like. You should be able to go ahead and flick these levers, and they should get you more flowers just like that all the way across. You should be able to do all of them for that matter. There we go. So all of those are working. Okay, and next we need to go ahead and test our actual flower farm. Go ahead and come over here to this barrel. Go ahead and empty all of your flower types that you're going to be wanting to use in this farm. Go ahead and put all those in there. Then go ahead and pick a flower type of your choice. Go ahead and place that up here. And then go ahead and hit this button and turn your farm on. And you should see that you now have a working flower farm. And when it's all done, you should see that all your flowers come out to the side over here, and they all flow down here into the center. Let's go ahead and pick these up. We got an empty inventory, and we've got almost a full shulker box. That's exactly what this is supposed to do. Now, if we want a shulker box to come out of here, go ahead and press this button here. That'll go ahead and get us a shulker box, I believe. Let's go ahead and try that again. There we go, there's a shulker box. Go ahead and load this guy up. You can go ahead and load him up with all the flowers that you want. And when you're done, all you have to do is press that button one more time. It'll get rid of that shulker box and give you another one, and that shulker box will end up coming down here just like this. You can take that out and come store it into these chests wherever you want to. You can go ahead and organize these however you like. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the superior flower farm. This thing is a powerful farm. It'll get you almost every type of dye in the game and almost every type of flower. And the best part is that it's hooked up to the superior moss farm, so you'll never ever have to refill this thing with bone meal. That's just so convenient. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.